You're listening to Where You Live with Gene Sullivan.
Welcome back to Where You Live. I'm Gene Sullivan, broadcasting from the True North Painting Studios. The show's brought to you by Extreme Exteriors and American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency. As an American family agent, Kim believes that there is so much more to insurance than the policy itself. It's about providing you with dependable protection and services. Kim believes that trust and credibility can't be demanded. It can only be earned by what you say and what you do. Give her a call at 651-482-1598 and tell her Gene sent you. We want to welcome back to Where You Live attorney Donna DiMaggio-Berger, who is with the firm of Becker and Polyakov. And Donna, of course, has been a prolific writer for the Florida Sun-Sentinel, is also a member of the prestigious College of Community Association Lawyers, and is practicing in community association law in Florida. She's been on the show before, and we really appreciate your perspective, Donna. Now, you said it's going to be interesting with this case because the real issue that it appears to come down to is whether or not the association has the ability and authority to describe the manner in which Mr. Murphy is displaying it as improper.
Absolutely, and I think it's really going to bode well for the association if they can show that they do not have some bias against people flying the American flag. If they can show that their real only issue with Mr. Murphy is the manner in which he's sticking the flag in the flower pot, and they can say, listen, we've got X number of flags and they're flown in this manner. Also, Mr. Murphy has stopped paying. So I think he's got a few obstacles to overcome.
He's got an uphill battle,
case.
Doesn't he, with that?
A little bit, because it's going to boil down to who's being more reasonable here.
Yes, and it seems like the association, again, I'm going back to the press release, they said that our rules conform with U.S. Code and Florida statute. And I know that the United States Code, as I mentioned with the flag, says that if it is not lit, that it must come down at sunset. And Mr. Murphy does state that there are times he a lot of times he just leaves it in the pot overnight, and people are saying we don't think that that's a proper way of displaying or showing respect to the flag. And if this is consistent, then it sounds like the association might have some ground to stand on.
Well, there's reasons for those for that protocol and those rules, including taking it down in inclement weather, making sure it doesn't touch the ground. I mean, there may be issues that people feel it is, touching the dirt, that there's bugs crawling on it. Who knows? But he's definitely got some obstacles to overcome in terms of explaining why a flower pot is the proper venue for the flag. I know he mentioned the military cemeteries, but that's a little bit different. Those are not in a flower pot; they are actually adorning grave sites. So,
yes,
this every time, Gene, when I hear stories like this, it always makes me think about one thing: who are these people getting advice from? And that holds true for both the board and the owner with the dispute, because it's like everything else in life. A lot depends on who's got your ear.
Yes, that's so true. And, the other point, I guess, just to kind of end with, again, you said it before, and it's so true. If you have a disagreement with your HOA, don't automatically stop making payments and say, I'll show them in this interim.
You only make it harder for yourself. And one other option that Mr. Murphy might not have, thought about was, okay, I will take down the flag now and display it in a manner in which my neighbors are displaying theirs. In the meantime, I will work on either getting on the board or electing a board that feels the way I do, that a flower pot is the proper venue. There are ways to say, I'm going to conform right now. Yeah. I don't agree with this rule, but I'm going to work towards changing the rule in the future without violating the rule at the same time.
Oh, I agree to that 100%. I mean, when you take a look at the American flag and what it stands for and our way of life, and that is that we have a peaceful governance that takes place where we, being governed, elect those who are going to govern over us, and that is Mr. Mr. Murphy's right to do to try and get things changed at the board level.
Absolutely.
Well, Donna, that's all the time we have for today's show. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you. Always a pleasure, Gene.
That's all that we have for today's show. That was Donna DiMaggio Berger from Becker and Poliakoff. Thanks for joining us. Have a great rest of the weekend, everybody, and look forward to seeing you here next Saturday on Where You Live.